6/8, and then 2/4, and then 5/8.
But the 6/8, do you conduct 3/4?
Israel, Israel, in yam bam bam, one in the 2 and right. Because if you do Israel, right? So what determines in a compound meter? What determines your beat, your big beats? Yeah, syllabic stress, right? You look at the text. That's a nice thing. We have text to kind of help figure us out. And usually it becomes very, very clear that it's in there, right? Israel to O. No, okay?
That'll help a lot.
Yeah.
So you are doing that in 2 then?
Mm-hmm. I'm doing that in 2. Yes.
Is it more convenient to bring in soprano and soprano 2 if we did in 3 as well?
Israel. You will do Israel. Israel. You can certainly do that. Try it. 1, Israel, 2. So you're actually creating a little bit of a syncopation in there. To me, it loses the fluidity. I might do it if I were teaching it at the beginning to just kind of keep them together. But if they have been pulsing 8th note, that should not be a problem. But for me, it keeps the fluidity going. I know you're coming 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and the 2 and the 1 and 2 and 1 and the 2 and okay? And it's just grunt work. So I just kind of like you memorize that little chunk. Because sometimes you get lost because you're trying to respond and we're kind of, if we're sounding a little shaky, that will throw you off, okay? All right, so let's do pick up 2, measure 36, okay? Because the previous part we've all seen. So, keep going off, Tota, and then release the altos, okay? Yeah, that is so important. Don't just be, because by the time you get there, there's not a whole lot of thing happening. Make sure you're supporting them vocally.
Okay.
Did going to that 2 help you out more with that?
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Here's a little, this is like kind of like zooming in, okay? At the end of 39 and at the end of 41, we as human beings, we tend to rush the last 8 notes of song. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So make sure you're not ahead of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, because your choir will rush too. So as the conductors, we are at 2 places at the same time. We're together with the choir, but we're also ahead of the choir, right? We're mentally and orally kind of ahead of the choir, but we're right together with the choir. So you don't want to rush. So 1 Israel, bum, bum. Make sure you've got enough room to fill, to not rush, okay? Because I thought that those 2 bars, there's that little rushing, and I thought that might get us a little too excited. Okay? All right, so let's do same thing again, and then we'll move on. Okay? 2.
Pick up to 36.
Yeah. So if you were going to start that, I would go 1 and 2. Well, okay, and I'll jump in here, and this is what, if you took conducting 1 with me, you would remember the dry beat. 2, 2, low. Because if you come out of nowhere, we don't know where to go to, okay? So do a little dry beat. It's just a very small beat. It gives you the tempo without making you go 2, 2, low. Okay? All right, so let's try that. Give us a dry beat. Nope. 2, 2,
Tota, Pulchra,
Right, yeah. You want to kind of start putting the brakes on a little earlier,
Okay.
right?
like
So
the
three
third
bars
command.
before, right? So it doesn't jump to ri, yama, ri, and then we suddenly slow down tremendously. Okay? All right, good. All right, so let's swap the singers. Swap, find another part. And the next to go is Caleb.